pledge of
pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. If you would, Liz, please do the roll call.
Councilman Fazio,
Here.
Supervisor DePew,
Present?
Councilman Castillo,
Here.
Councilman O'Flaherty. All right.
Okay,
all
thank you.
present.
Thank you, folks. If you would just lower your cell phones or put them on vibrate for the meeting. Yeah, I turned it on.
Okay.
Okay, at this time, I am going to change one thing around, but we'll get to that. Okay, at this time, we have no presentations. We are going to cover that under new business. The minutes, I make a motion not to read the minutes of our previous August 6th board meeting.
I'll second it.
The motion on the floor with a second not to read the minutes of the previous town board meeting, August 6th. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of the August 6th board meeting.
I will second that.
I have a motion on the floor with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Under the additions, I do have a couple of the additions here. First addition is a resolution number 52, and they are going to be out of order because I just received this and it didn't make it to the agenda. And this resolution is number 52 of 2025, and this is for an apprenticeship agreement. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the following resolution for number 52 of 2025. Whereas the town of Plattekill, Town Board recognizes the need for continuing development of skilled workers in the construction trades and recognizes a need to encourage contractors in said trades to enter into apprenticeship agreements, committing them to apprenticeship training programs registered with New York State Department of Labor in accordance with the provisions under New York State Labor Law 816 and 816-B. Now therefore be it resolved, excuse me, that for the town board of the town of Plattekill, Ulster County projects approved for individuals' prime construction contracts and construction-related maintenance contracts in excess of $250,000. The project bid specifications shall require the contracts with construction trades contractors, including requirements that they have existing apprenticeship agreements provided for apprentice training programs registered with New York State Department of Labor. The town board reserves the right to utilize any approved municipal or state contract for the purpose of procurement of equipment or services for the above referenced construction projects consistent with established town procurement policies. So what this is gives the bidder the opportunity to bid and utilize, I don't want to say lower paid scale employees, but it kind of is under the apprenticeship program. Apprenticeship workers are actually paid a little bit lower than full-blown contractors, and what ends up happening is the cost savings is kind of passed on to us, but the benefit of having a program like this gives the folks an opportunity to learn a trade. So it's definitely a beneficial. So that was as a motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion on the floor with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So carried. Thank you. That is number one. Number two, I received a letter. August 7th, 2025, to Dean DePew, Town Supervisor, Town of Plattekill, P.O. Box 45, Plattekill, New York 12568. Subject, Planning Board resignation notice. Dear Mr. DePew, I was very grateful to have been asked to join the board this year and fully intended to fulfill my duties for the 3-year term. Due to personal reasons, I need to leave the board and hope you find the right replacement, of which there are many good people in our town. Thank you for the opportunity. I will always remember this with the confidence you had in me. Sincerely, Eric Ackerley. Eric was serving on the planning board and felt that it was only right that due to his circumstances that he resigned at this time. And we do have another applicant. I was going to hold off, but it doesn't make any sense. We have a lot of stuff going on the board, and this gentleman had actually interviewed a year ago?
Yeah.
Approximately close to a year ago, I believe.
I think it was same time like
Same time
Eric,
that-
right? We
Yeah.
Yeah, we
interviewed
got him
3
on
people
board.
that time.
So at this time, I would like to make a motion to accept the resignation letter from Mr. Ackerley. So we have a motion to accept with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carry, and we will forward him a letter thanking him for his service. I would also like to make a motion to appoint Eric Merritt to the position of planning board to fulfill that vacancy.
I'll second.
Just one question.
Yes, sir.
Has he been called to make sure he
Yes.
still wants to do it?
Yes, he
Okay.
is.
I'll second it.
Actually, I will tell you this, I got your second.
Yeah.
Last night, he thought the meeting was last night, in anticipation of just learning about the planning board. He was here last night,
Okay.
so he's definitely eager to serve, and he has reached out several times over the past just to see what was available. So we have a motion on the floor to appoint Eric Merritt for the vacancy on the planning board with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Thank you. I will reach out and let him know.
And he has to see Sarah or to get sworn. in.
Yes, yep. Okay, that being said, the next thing I have here is, last year, this is budget time again, so last year, we sent out the letters in anticipation of all the department heads preparing their tentative budget, sending it to us. Just to let everybody know, everybody was up in arms, it's everybody's budget time. Fire departments are in the process of doing the budgets, the library is in the process of doing their budgets. The dates and everything will be posted on their websites when the actual vote is, and I believe the preliminary budgets or tentative budgets for them as well should be posted also. So keep an eye out for that. All right? Next thing, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump down because we do have somebody here that would like to give a presentation. I want to jump down to business and actually under the business area, Ms. Brooks would like to discuss mobile home parks. So I'll give you that opportunity to state your case now.
Absolutely. Good evening, and thank you very much for the opportunity to make this presentation this evening. I had spoken with Supervisor Depew a month ago or so about a client of mine who was interested in putting in a mobile home park. So in reviewing the code, I discovered that the only zone that mobile home parks are allowed in right now is the RR 1.5, which seems a little bit contradictory to the code, which intends for the RR 1.5 to be low-density development area. Basically, it's intended to limit the density of development within those areas of the town that due to steep grades, other limiting physical factors, or the inaccessibility of public services are not suitable for intensive development, but can accommodate specialized low-intensity uses requiring large land areas. So the property in question that my client would like to develop is actually located in the HR zone off Plate Road. Supervisor Depew said, I came in and said I would like to talk to the town board about the possibility of allowing mobile home parks in the HR Hamlet residential area, because this district is intended to provide for the orderly growth of established residential areas, prevent overcrowding of the land, and to restrict those uses that are not compatible with residential neighborhoods while allowing for moderate to higher density housing. So it seemed to me that a mobile home park would be compatible with that, manufactured housing. Supervisor Depew said, well, before the town board can review that, why don't you come in with what the actual overall impact to the entire town would be? Because again, I'm here this evening to ask for manufactured housing to be an allowed use in the HR zone. I am not here for a particular client. I did put together a narrative and a map showing what the potential impact would be for the four areas where currently there are HR zones. The hamlet of Clintondale, and the criteria that I used was solely two, the acreage requirement of 10 acres or more, and the road frontage requirement of 200 feet or more. I know that some of the parcels that are highlighted on here have wetlands that would restrict it, because once you subtract out the wetlands, you wouldn't have the 10 acres. but I wanted to show what the maximum potential impact would be. In the Clintondale area, there would be no opportunity for additional mobile home parks. There's Trout Brook right now that actually is on Crescent Avenue, but in the town of Lloyd, really. And then I think my parents' former mobile home park that only has like 7 units in it on 4455 is probably the only other one that we have left in Clintondale. In Ardonia, we have the Rolling Acres Mobile Home Park that is existing. And the only other parcel we have is the Earl parcel that's on Coy Road. But that parcel, again, is about 50% wetlands. So although it meets the criteria, it probably would not be able to be developed. In the hamlet of Plattekill, we have a couple of parcels that are over 20 acres in size. Most of them, however, are already improved with multifamily dwellings. We do have 20 acres that's located on Old Unionville Road that's owned by Chris Mercier that is currently being used agriculturally. And then we have 2 parcels on Huckleberry Turnpike, 10.5 acres and 11 acres that potentially could be utilized. So up to Modena, which is the area that we're proposing this particular development, there is already existing Timberbrook Mobile Home Park on Route 32. Then there is a 30-acre parcel owned by Mr. Brew on the easterly side that would have potential, that's vacant right now. There's the 65-acre coal farm, which is partially in the HR1 and partially in the BD60.
Those
sure
two
you're all-
particular properties will be off the table. The in the BD60, the coal farm, that's actually under the historic district, so there's no opportunity.
That's off the table.
That's off the table. Mr. Brune just purchased that property over the past 8 months or so, and he's in the process of building homes for himself and his child.
Okay.
So that's definitely out of there.
And then we have the parcel in question that's owned by the Lois family on Plate Road. And then the only other parcel is the Lembo parcel, which is 65 acres on Freetown Highway. So although I'm asking for manufactured housing to be allowed in the HR district, the number of properties that potentially would be impacted is very, very minimal and would not have a negative impact on the overall community, which I believe was Supervisor Depew's concern, to make sure that if this town made a determination that it would be appropriate to have manufactured housing in the HR1 zone, that we wouldn't all of a sudden have a flood of 30 manufactured housing applications before the town that might overburden the community. So again, the reason I'm here this evening is to ask the board to consider adding manufactured housing as an allowed use in the HR1 district.
Okay.
I have a
Go ahead.
question. What would be the benefit?
So we could either do a open space development, which would be similar density, or multiple family housing, which would be the same or more density, or we could put in a manufactured housing community, which would allow people to own their own home at a far reduced rate of what a single-family dwelling costs, which is a great opportunity and benefit to young families starting out and seniors who are looking to downsize from that single-family home. It gives them the opportunity to still have home ownership, but depending on the park, all their services would be provided. There's less impact on them as far as water, sewer, plowing, much less that the individual homeowner would need to take care of. So that is the benefit of the manufactured community.
When you did the density on this particular piece of property, did you put in an approximate amount of homes that would be on that property?
No. We have an engineer working on that now to determine the number. Obviously, there are wetlands on the property, so we need to have DEC come out and locate them. any of those areas would need to be removed from the calculation of density. But that, we haven't gotten that far in the
Are
process
those,
yet.
is it fair to say that those lots are something in the neighborhood of 45 to 60 feet, 45 to 80 feet, 40 to 80?
Well, they still have to meet the area requirement of the underlying zone.
Okay,
So they would not be, again, next to this site on Plate Road, of course, is already an existing mobile home park.
yeah.
That level of density is not permitted now with the current mobile home regulations. Because this would have to meet current mobile home standards, mobile home park
Yeah,
standards.
and just to be fair, that the current mobile home parks that are located in the HR1 were pre-zoning of this
Absolutely.
particular area. So that's why she's asking to allow it in HR1, but they exist in HR1 already because of previous zoning.
Right, right.
This has been updated 2006 and 2014, or dated 06 and then updated 2014, revised.
Well, right now, we're in the process of the master plan, and that could be addressed then, but
What's your anticipation coming here tonight as far as going forward?
Yeah, I understand that the master plan is underway, but I also understand the timing of a master plan far exceeds what a developer is interested in waiting when they want to move forward with something. I did print out copies of the master plan to make sure that what we were proposing was consistent with the master plan. And it is in conformance with the goals of hamlet centers that have been outlined in that plan. So I obviously am not asking the board for a decision this evening. What I'm asking you to do was allow me to make this presentation, give you the
Understood.
opportunity to review it. I'm happy to share, Dean's may share my email address with any of you as you review this and have any questions. But what I would like to do moving forward is have the board consider this, which then of course will require a zoning change, which requires Ulster County Planning Board review and approval, as well as obviously public hearings through the town board. My client is aware of the fact that they would be responsible for paying for the town attorney for his review and drafting the resolution. But at this point, I'm just looking for feedback from this board. I'm seeking any questions that you may have that I can address further, and above and beyond the narrative that has already been supplied and the map kind of outlining what potential impacts would be.
Now, is there a number, a rough estimate on the homes yet?
No, as I said, we
Okay.
have not gotten involved with the engineering at all yet. We did confirm that there are regulated wetlands on the site, so the next step.
There actually is a large amount of wetlands on that site.
Yes.
There's a lake that exists on that site, there's a lower, funny enough, there's a lower swamp that goes all across the back of Patora Gardens and actually goes out through the town park property. It's quite a long, it's probably 80 acres, 90 acres, it's pretty good
Yeah,
size.
it's expansive. And covers multiple parcels of land.
Yeah.
but wouldn't it be considered to change that spot zoning?
No, we're not asking for you to change the zone of that property. What we're asking you to do is add manufactured housing as an allowed use in the entirety of the HR1 districts. So there would be 4 districts that would be impacted.
Okay.
And an allowed use, basically just looking at the,
So that's going to be
at the bulk regulations.
Yeah.
As a permitted special use permit, within that column would be add manufactured
So that's
housing.
gonna be another, a legal matter that I'm gonna have to reach out to, so then if the board decides to take this on, is to remove the idea of spot zoning, because you just alluded to something earlier, that he would be willing to set up an escrow account and pay the attorney and engineering fees and whatever. So inadvertently, that sounds like this is one project that other projects will benefit off of, but it's targeting one specific project. If everybody in that HR1 came in and said, hey, we all want to collectively do this, it would be a wash. But now we have one applicant, or potentially he becomes an applicant when they agree to do that. So I would, that's part of my due diligence. I would have to look at the legalities with that.
Yeah.
I would just look at town services too. Fire, police,
School,
school, there's just.
go beyond the town a
Now,
little.
is this for senior or mixed, or how was this?
It would not be restricted to any demographic.
Because then involves school districts and, like Steve was saying, and all the other amendments.
This town, basically, we gotta consider a lot of that,
Yeah, many things.
but. you gotta
So again,
talk
right
through.
now in the RR 1.5, there are multiple more parcels
Yeah.
that are eligible. So the impact that exists now in the RR
The
1.5
potential is there.
far exceeds the
HR1.
potential impact that we're requesting in the HR1. And I just want to be clear, so the concern is that because it would be one individual landowner that is willing to, so I mean, obviously,
bill, basically.
obviously, he would prefer not to foot the bill.
Well, then
But-
we can stop right tonight. You can take your maps.
There you go, yeah.
Right, but, I mean, if your concern
Yeah.
is that because one person is making the request, you know,
Yeah.
I-
No, and that's something that we have to do our due diligence, and
Okay.
I'll reach out and I'll speak to somebody on that. And this is all part of it. This is something that, you know, like I had told you earlier, and Willie just alluded to also, is that we're in the process of still finishing up. We have done our master plan, and the next step is our zoning. And right now, we're just waiting and anticipating being successful in a grant process and moving that right along. I know that, you know, somebody's coming in, they want to do whatever they can as quick as they can, and this is something that's new to us, that the possibilities are here. But we will do our due diligence with it and give it serious consideration.
yeah, I mean, again, the master plan has been in the works since 2019.
Understood.
So,
I don't
6 years.
yeah. I don't anticipate, to be very honest with you, I don't anticipate taking as long. This process should be relatively thorough and quick. When I say that, I believe the initial was like 6 months, 5 to 6 months. The committee is already established. It's the existing committee from the comprehensive plan. And basically, all we're waiting for is money to finance, and there has been a little bit of work already done by the engineers pro bono. Just in anticipation of getting ready for this. But we will look at this. I'll be in touch with you, and I'm sure you're going to reach out to me, but I'll be in touch with you and along the way, and we'll take a good look at this and give it consideration.
So what would next steps be? Are you going to reach
next
out to
step
the
be?
town attorney with regard to the concerns
What I
of?
will do more than likely is, yes, I'll speak to an attorney and see where we are and see what that looks like. I will also reach out to the engineers who are currently doing the zoning and see what that looks like as well. So I don't want anything to hamper what we're doing on that end either. And
Who's doing that, Barton and Judith?
yes. And I will be in contact with them at the beginning of next week. I believe I have a Zoom meeting with him early in the week. So I can bring this up at that time, or I'll just reach out regardless.
Who are you working
That's
with?
good reference.
Daniel Theobald. You want all the answers, don't you?
I do.
He's from Syracuse. Dan has been down to our meetings in the past. He's actually the one that's given our presentations, and he's the one that's heading up the whole project.
Okay.
But very, very knowledgeable and very aggressive in what he's doing. He's very good. I trust the guy.
So are there any other questions that any of the other board members have this evening? Additional information that you're seeking or?
I think just, I need more information. More information in terms of project, footprint, housing, scale of the size of the house. Like, there's just, this is so back of the napkin to me right now. Like, there's good information as a start, but there's also no information.
Right, but at the end of the day, this is not for a project. and that's something I need to make very, very
It's to
clear to the
adjust the
board.
allowable use.
It is to adjust an allowable use.
Yes.
So
So
we
a project
can't,
can occur?
so that a project can potentially go through the design process and apply to the planning
Yeah, I
board
would need to know more information.
about what?
Before I even got to there, I would have to know more information.
Yeah.
Period.
Right, and I hear you, I'm just trying to find out what information so I can gain it for you.
Well, we already said about.
You
the-
don't have to. I will. I can
Oh,
get the information.
okay, that's what I'm saying, I'm
Yeah.
asking if there was anything
No,
additional
I'm
I
good.
could bring
No,
forth.
You're good. Thank you.
So to be fair, I believe what you're saying is, so then it would be an allowable use for anybody in that zone
Correct,
to do something.
right, and that was why you
And to
had,
make a hasty decision, this is a very levy decision. You have to look at so much more than just existing zoning. There's potential impact to surrounding residential area. There's so much more. You could look at, what's the seeker stuff, the ecosystem footprint. There's so much that to say the zoning map suffices to make a decision is foolish.
I didn't say that, that's why I asked if
Yeah.
there was additional information I
Yeah.
personally could bring forth.
No, and I think that you've provided a lot. Now it's up to us to get the shovel and figure it out.
Yes, but to figure anything out, it's gotta take steps, because it's like we said, school, whatever stuff, you really can't figure any of that unless there was a project in front of us where you had numbers saying there's gonna be 150 houses. Okay, we're gonna have this many kids going to school. Or potential ambulance, yes,
So that's-
but you would need numbers to figure any of that out.
I agree with what you're saying. That's like just us now in 25 minutes thinking. Do you understand?
Right, and so I guess what I can address to that standpoint is already in this zone, multifamily is allowed and open space developments are allowed conservation subdivisions. So would it be helpful if I came back and said, from a density perspective, this parcel of land can contain this many multifamilies or this many dwellings?
I think that would be beneficial to the board.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can, yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm just trying
You
to
can
come
do
up
the
with.
overlays, take out the wetlands, and
Yeah,
just give
that's
us a
what I was gonna
letter
get
and
to.
say that
That's
this is
kinda
what
what I
it
was
We
looks
don't,
like.
we don't know the wetlands, we don't know. in some
Right, and
cases.
again, I will do, because I don't want this to be about this particular property.
Understood.
But what I can do is say, in the HR1 zone,
general laws.
multifamilies are allowed and conservation subdivisions are allowed. And so on any given parcel of land, this is the density that would be allowed, the number
Mm-hmm.
of residential units today with no zoning change that would be allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And by allowing manufactured housing, this is what the
That
impact would be.
helpful.
Okay.
So
Very
we
helpful.
could almost
That's
look
very
at worst case scenario, it could always get better
So,
if
yes,
the
you're
numbers
not-
are
you're not
less.
predicting or backing a specific project, but hypothetically, all of the blue on that map, you can back out the wetlands and give us a.
Well, what I
footprint
can do is I can back out density allowed today based
Correct.
on current uses.
Yes, that would be.
And how that would relate to manufactured housing development.
I think to be fair, I think what you're saying is spot on. I think that would be beneficial. Something that you said earlier, I'd like to share your email with the board, and if they have any additional questions, we can reach out.
Great,
Yeah, I
Right?
think
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
all right, thank you very much for the time, I appreciate the
Thank you very much, Patty.
opportunity.
Okay, let's go back up to reports. I am going to briefly touch on these reports, only because they're on the back table and they're also available in the town clerk's office upon request. But I think there's a couple of things here that are important to note. First, we have the police department monthly report. Calls for service was 925, traffic stops 339, tickets issued 143, accidents 7, motor vehicle accidents and injuries 3, and so forth. You'll see that it's pretty extensive. A lot of folks don't understand how important a police department is in a community, and that kind of tells the tale. On the second page, Chief Oscar Lopez would like to express gratitude to the Plattekill Fire Department, Modena Fire Department, and Clintondale Fire Departments for all their assistance in this year's town fireworks display. The fire department members were instrumental in traffic and safety control. Sergeant John Rafferty arranged for the town of Plattekill to receive a brand-new LiDAR, which is a light detection and ranging unit from Ulster County Stop DWI. This is a speed detection device that officers can use to address areas that are difficult to patrol. Number 5 here, it says Chief Lopez continues to address reckless driving and speeding complaints on Platico-Lardonia Road, and 4455 officers are receiving training on the LiDAR unit to patrol the areas that are difficult to enforce vehicle traffic laws. And number 6 here, another important, and I am also going to reach out to the chief next week when I see him and ask if we can do a little bit of cross-training with the code enforcement officials, the building department. The town of Platico has acquired 2 new decibel meter devices. Officers are in the process of receiving training on these devices. With the acquisition of these units, the police department can better serve the community regarding the town of Platico noise ordinance. So, and like I said, the rest of that report is available with the town clerk. The building department monthly report. This is a list of building department monthly reports for July 2025. As you can see, it's quite an extensive booklet here. That department is incredibly busy throughout the month. There was 40 permits issued, 17 violations, 4 violations that were closed. All inspections, this includes buildings, violations, fire safety, CFOs, CFCs, 242, and this is 12 from the new system alone. So they have imported all of the information into our new software, and they're utilizing that daily. And we have 6 complaints, 3 in the new system, municity, 5, complaints closed, 1, complaints to violations, 2, municipal searches, 5, CNCs and C of Os, 92, and so forth. So that, again, that is quite extensive. I always like looking at the trends in our town. This is a monthly report from the assessor's office for July of 2025. So if we look at the average sale price of the homes on the bottom. The bottom started off in January at $439,600. And if you look, the trends did go down and up, but that's also because of the size of the homes or vacant land that was sold. But the average in December was $478,333. So the numbers are staying pretty consistent. Buildings and grounds. The buildings and grounds, it is put up and take down signs for the red, white, and blue. Put up signs for music in the park. In the police department, they adjusted the security cameras. They hung coat hangers. Removed recycled computers. In the park, cut and removed down trees on the trail. Set up and take down of all things for the red, white, and blue celebration, cleaned up and performed weekly maintenance in the town hall. They removed and replaced the end traps in the restrooms, removed recycling and took to the transfer station. All right. I will tell you the dog report from the dog warden. This is probably
Oh, you got one?
3rd or 4th time this year we have not received one.
At least the 4th.
So that seems to be pretty consistent, so we will address that and try to get that in again. And we are going to move to the Veterans Memorial. Veterans Memorial is a packet that we put out for bid. We received 1 bid. The cover letter on this page is Town of Platico Highway Department memo to the Town Board of Platico from Robert Weger Sr., 8/19/2025 Veterans Memorial bid. And there's a simple 1 line here. It says, please review only bid received for the completion of the Veterans Memorial. And if we go back to the page, through the bid packet, see if we can find it.
What's the price?
Yep, the price. And
It was $95,650. It's page 5.
right in front of me. So we did receive 1 bid and 1 bid only. This would be from Santini's Lawn Care Corp. And this is a corporation organized under the law of the state of New York, having examined the documents and specifications in compliance with the Town of Platico invitation to bid on a Platico Veterans Memorial project, hereby proposed to furnish the services specified at the price set forth. Platico Veterans Memorial Project, $95,650, 0 cents. And that is the bid, the only bid that we received for the work that we put out with an offer to bid. Gentlemen, conversation,
Can
comments?
we put it out
questions?
again, to bid?
We may.
Because, maybe the time wasn't enough for the other people to see it.
So I will tell you that this was only out for a short 2 weeks. I believe we put this out at our last meeting, correct?
Yes, and I believe it should be at least a month, this week, whoever gets the paperwork, they will have more of an idea.
I will tell you that 5 packets of information or opportunities to bid were picked up, and only one in that 2-week period was turned in. So, first off, I believe that I will entertain a motion to reject this bid and place it back out for rebid, or however the board wants to follow.
Now, Dean, just one thing before we go to vote. There is a certain amount of money that was a grant for the veterans, correct?
The money that we recovered, that was left over, I believe was approximately $72,000.
Now, what happens? Is there a time limit? Does that have to be used up by the end of the year?
I believe
Or if you have
January
a
1st.
contract in place, could the work happen after the first of the year?
That's a good question. I would have to reach out and find out, but generally, if you're in contract and they can't do it because of the inclement weather, generally speaking, I've heard it in the past that they do give you an exception, a certain amount of time to do it, as long as you're in contract.
Right.
That money is due to expire, I think it's December 31st, 2025, so January 1st it no longer exists.
I mean, I think it should go out to bid again anyway, because it's just one bid,
So
the
then I
people
think
need a
it's,
few more days to do it, I don't know.
yeah, okay, so what do you guys feel?
I would make a motion to put it out
To reject this.
to reject this bid and
Okay.
redo it. And for reasons beyond what Mr. Fazio was saying as well, whether we have the money earmarked or not, we have one bid on almost a 6-figure
Exactly.
item.
Okay, so, correct me if I'm wrong, we have a bid on, we have a bid on the floor, the second bid, right? We have a motion on the floor,
Yes.
a motion to reject the current bid from Santini's, and a request included in that bid, or excuse me, in that motion to re-put the project out for bid.
Resubmit it for request for
Okay,
our
so we have a motion on the floor to reject the one and only bid that we received, and also included in that motion is to place this work out for bid again. Is there,
period for the advertisement.
that's what I was gonna ask you,
Okay.
how long would you like that?
I was just thinking, you made a good point. It's 2 weeks in July. Who's looking at anything?
Yeah, so like a month out,
Put 4 weeks in, or 3 weeks, let's say 3.
So,
that it would have to, it would take when you put it out there, have it that it's at least a month later, so if we're putting it out there by next week,
so let me look at the calendar, because I don't wanna make a mistake here. We're August 20th,
right?
correct? Our next meeting is September 3rd.
Well, and the
The
meeting after
next meeting
that.
after that is the 17th. Now, keep in mind what time of the year it is.
I know, right?
Yep,
So if we were to,
get it back by the 17th.
well, we're pushing it again, so I'm just saying this
Yep,
for consideration. The 1st of October is, just hear this, the 1st of October would be our next meeting. If we were to award that, we would be given notification the next day, and now we're going to rush the contractor. If it has to be done by the 1st of the year, we're rushing the contractor right into November, into inclement weather. I have no idea how long it's gonna take.
So we need to make sure on
So-
first the date of when the grant, if possibly, expires.
So if we do this, this will give us, if we put it back in the paper by Monday, and we utilize the Middletown Record, because that's our
That's the biggest-
secondary, and it's a daily paper. Depending on the money, we could put it in our regular paper too. It would hit 1, 2, 3. It would hit 3 days, 3 consecutive weeks. But if we did it, say we did it, opened it on the morning of the 17th and presented it at the board meeting on the 17th, that would give it about 3 weeks.
That'll be good,
4 weeks basically, almost
That's
4
fair.
weeks.
that's fair.
Fair? Okay, so in that motion is a motion to reject the bid
Yes, sir.
and place it back up for bid in the Middletown Record, and we will put the cutoff date for the 17th of September and award it at that town board meeting.
Correct.
So that's a motion. Do we have a second?
I will set.
All in
okay.
favor?
Aye.
Oppose? So carry. All right. Let me just make a quick note.
We also have to figure out when that grant has to be funded.
I'm gonna find that out tomorrow. And then that way I can give the information to the board and,
Because we don't have to be so.
we may have, yeah, we may have to put something in the bid saying that it has to be done by a certain time or what have you, but I am going to hope for the best.
Yeah, they don't close the blacktop until December normally.
Yeah, it depends on the weather. We'll say 11 a.m. on the 17th of September,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay. Next thing, petty cash. I received a letter of request for petty cash for the court office here, for the Justice of the Peace. So, Town of Plattekill Justice Court, Honorable Gary Ashdown, and Town Justice Maciosa. Well, this is actually, I will say it's specifically Gary Ashdown. To all board members, the court is seeking to have a petty cash in the amount of $100 so that when defendants come in with cash, we can easily make change. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. Respectfully, Maureen, and Maureen is the clerk to Gary Ashdown. So I will tell you that I did look into this, and it is totally legal, and it's a common request, and I'm surprised that we don't have it already. Is there any questions as far as the petty cash is concerned from anybody?
No.
So I'm going to make a motion for resolution 2025, number 48. This following resolution is going to be introduced and made by myself. Be it resolved by the Town Board of the Town of Plattekill that petty cash funds be established for the following office. Plattekill Justice Court in the amount of $100. Whereas, the setup of petty cash is necessary to complete Justice Court to make smaller denominations for cash transactions within the court. The petty cash will not decrease in funds. So, and it will be watched closely and reported. So be it further resolved that funding shall be supported by voucher out of the general fund using the justice line of A.1110.400 and shall be reconciled by the Justice Court clerks monthly and filed with the town bookkeeper. That is a motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So be it. Okay, thank you. So the apprentice was done. Veterans cash drawer. And hang tight with me. I just want to make sure we got this under control. Okay, I will make a motion at 8:45 that we go into public input. Do we have a second?
I will second.
We have a second to open up the floor for public input. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Any questions?
Of course.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see an agenda. I looked back there again.
There's not one on the back table?
I do not see
There
it.
should have been one.
Oh, I apologize. I thought they were back there. I think Mr. Jackson maybe took them all. Did we have agendas out?
Nope.
Do you need one right now?
Well, how could I answer questions if we don't know?
Go ahead,
what to do?
take that one.
Here you go.
Got notes on that?
Don't worry about it, just take it.
Sure you want that out there?
I apologize. I thought
Can't
we
read
had them
Willie
out.
handwriting
Some
anyway.
got
Yeah.
checks.
Next time I'll do it in Spanish, to make sure.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
The fellow or the person who ever bid on the Memorial Park. Or
Yes.
whatever we're calling it. Shouldn't we at least acknowledge that we received their proposal? And then if they want to resubmit it, that would be fine, or that it stands, you know?
We,
Just reach out to them.
how that works, we absolutely will. We have to do that and let them know that it was rejected. How that works is we read, the packet went out, he bid onto it, we read the amount, and the reason why we rejected it is because we don't have that money to do that. If we put that out, we may have to alter or modify or change our bid package or go back and look at what the bid numbers were and take something out so we can afford it. Or find the money someplace else.
Also-
But yes, they're always notified.
Also, just to compare, he
Yeah.
could be very accurate with his number, but there's nothing to look at
Mm-hmm.
to say,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm a
Did he
problem, I don't do
elaborate the list of
blacktop.
things, or was it just a number?
Yes, it's quite an extensive packet.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I am sure that if you'd like to bid on that, town clerk has a packet.
Yeah,
for
he
you.
had it all broken down by price, whether it was electric, grading, all of
It's
that.
pretty
It's not
extensive.
theological enough for me.
Yeah, it's pretty extensive. But yes, we definitely will reach out to them, very respectably so.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Your agenda has nothing on it that you're gonna talk about that you haven't already. I'll give that back to Willie.
Oh,
You need that, Willie?
yeah, I got it.
Okay, let me go grab that.
No, sure, it's okay. I'll
I'm
get it
gonna
up when we
grab
go to, exactly.
Heaven forbid I should take your notes.
I didn't put nothing bad on it. I know better than that.
The lotto numbers, if she wins, she owes you half.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have no questions?
Oh.
Well,
Does
it's
anybody
not
else
public
have a
input
question?
yet,
Because we
right?
have to have a
Well, how are
question.
we doing at the landfill or the transfer station?
How are we
About
doing?
What are we gonna do about the box? Are we gonna put a roof over it?
We're actually looking into possibly doing something like that. There's, right now, there's a roof over the tires that are up there that's been up there for quite a long
Right.
time. That's kind of in disrepair. That needs to be addressed. But something similar like that, Councilman Castillo, actually came up with an idea with these, what do they call, like?
Portable garages.
They're like metal up or something like that,
Metal,
with roof
yeah.
up?
Metal garage,
Yeah.
but you could get it
Basically, it's a frame.
for like you could put a bus in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
High enough that they could go in and then start their tip and take it out.
Yeah, well, we're looking at the possibilities of that. We're not only looking at cost factors, but we're also looking to make sure that Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency is able to get their containers in and out of it.
Yeah, and also, if they could supply more coverage, like with the recycles,
Mm-hmm.
that we don't get water in there too, because you're paying for water. And, since you mentioned that, again, when you have the rains, you're talking about $2,000 loss. For, August.
Yeah, at best, we would love to have this break even, at
Yeah,
best.
at least break
And
even.
it doesn't.
I would think
Yeah.
they could drill some small holes near the bottom and they
Yeah,
would
but then you're
break.
going on the highway.
Drill small holes in the bottom of the dumpsters?
Well, like the recyclables, yes, the plastic and the glass, that would work.
What about when we throw the lithium batteries in there and no, I'm just kidding.
Well, with the garbage bags, what's the
Yeah.
truck smell like when they crush the garbage on the road? Not good,
No,
you
you
wouldn't
know-
wanna smell that going down the road.
Yeah, you don't want,
They're very restrictive now,
Very
what we can do, with those dumpsters. They're extremely
they
restrictive.
don't mind the
with it.
rats jumping out.
But I will tell you this, monthly, when I go to the Supervisors Association meetings, monthly, they are addressing concerns with how the dumpsters are handled, how the garbage is moved and recycling and everything else. So it's something that's not on the back burner, it's on the front burner.
Well,
You know,
the
our
only
garbage has to
way,
go
the only way
someplace.
you could do it, like kinda even to break even, you would have to have a scale. She's charging people by the bag, whatever it is made, by the bag. What's in that bag? You don't know what it weighs.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
You could have a
And
half
to put a
body here,
scale in
half
would
a
cost
body
how
here.
much, so.
We had a scale.
yeah, we
Yeah,
did
but that
years
was a
ago.
private company, right?
Yeah, and that.
Wasn't it Dinkelman or
Yes,
something?
it was. Yes, it was. Yep. Yep, yes, it was.
And that's
Right.
why we send like the bulk to New Paltz, because they have the scale and they charge them over there.
Oh, they have one there?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, they do. I
Yep.
forgot.
Yes.
Yep.
That's how.
All right, anyone else?
We gave it time to think.
Go ahead.
Your resolution 52.
Resolution number 50, yes.
Okay. So you said that they have to contract for over $250,000, they have to have an existing apprentice program?
Yeah, there's a lot of different unions. When you start doing work for municipalities, government agencies, the prevailing wage has to be paid. There's a certain criteria that has to be met. So when you're dealing with unions, a lot of the subcontractors that are with the unions, they have programs that they utilize apprenticeships. So the value of using an apprentice is not only giving somebody the opportunity to learn what they're doing, but it's also at a cheaper rate. So theoretically, by doing something like that, just say hypothetically, we decide we're going to build a new town hall. instead of paying a laborer $80 an hour to push a wheelbarrow up a ramp, and the gentleman that was here, I believe, 3 or 4 months ago, gave that analogy.
Oh, Chris, what was his name?
Cerrone. When he gave that analogy, he said instead of paying somebody who's $80 an hour using an apprentice, you would be paying $38 an hour. So there's definitely a big savings. So for X amount of manpower or hours that are utilized on the job, if you're paying at one rate, the opportunity to give somebody a trade and an opportunity to learn and grow, you're using somebody who has an apprenticeship program where you can offset the cost a little bit by utilizing the labor
So if
costs
you
that
have
are low.
four journeymen, normal, you could have 3 journeymen and an apprentice. And that apprentice could be learning how to float the concrete, and stuff like that. So it's on-the-job training, and we also save money on that person.
And you're still getting the same
I
quality.
guess my question is, do most companies have that? I know you were talking about unions.
That resolution, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, companies that contract?
That would bid.
Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them do already. A lot of them do because not only do they understand the value of that program, but a lot of them do because a lot of municipalities, a lot of organizations, school districts, and so forth are doing the same exact thing that we did.
And it doesn't just mean union. You could be a non-union company and you could bid on a job, so you have to pay prevailing wage, but you also have to have a apprenticeship program in line in order to have, even the electricians do it, to have apprentices on jobs. Or if it's a pipe fitter or plumber, in order to have, that's how you get the apprentices to get the experience. They get the book work, but this is on-the-job training that they have.
So I will give you just a quick heads up of that also. Just locally, a quick snapshot. Town of Newburgh currently has the same type of resolution. Marlboro has the same type of resolution. Valley Central School District, the same type of resolution. And Menacing Valley has the same type of resolution. I did not reach out to Walk Hill School District. It was easier for me to reach out to the ones that I reached out to see who had them. And I did talk to some of the people in the Association of Towns, and they said that this is very common practice to do. It's beneficial.
I was just
Yeah.
concerned about keeping certain companies out, a lot of companies out. And what's the end of it say? The town board reserves the right to utilize any approved municipal or state contracts. What is that?
We reserve the right that, for what you're alluding to, if there's a company that's of value that comes in to do a job and they don't have that program and there's nobody else, we reserve the right to award that contract to somebody who may not have.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Nobody else. Okay, so I will make a motion at 7:55 to come out of public input and go back into the meeting.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to come out of public input and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carry. We have 3 more resolutions here. Actually, it's like 3.
You did
Wait a minute.
capital already.
Let me just look.
You
48.
did 2 already.
We did the 2 of them. Okay. So we have 49, 50, and 51.
Yes.
So the first resolution, Town of Platica Resolution Number 49 of 2025. This is a general fund budget amendment. I would like to make a motion, whereas the town supervisor has requested a transfer in the amount of $70,000 from general fund unassigned funds to A 1420.400 attorney contractual. Whereas this transfer is necessary to cover the cost of attorney bills for the current bills. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Platica, Ulster County, to amend the 2025 general fund budget with the increase of the A 1420.400 attorney contractual in the amount of $70,000. Be it further resolved that funding shall be supported by a transfer from the general unassigned funds in the amount of $70,000. And that is a motion.
Second.
Have a motion on the floor with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Resolution number 50. Resolution number 50. It is, let me see, Town of Plattekill Resolution number 50 of 2025, General Fund Budget Amendment. I will make a motion, whereas the town supervisor has requested a transfer in the amount of $18,860.50 from the general fund unassigned funds to A. 9785.600 installment loans. Whereas this transfer is necessary to cover the cost of bills for the 2025 year, now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Plattekill, Ulster County, to amend the 2025 general fund budget with an increase of the A 9785.600 installment loans in the amount of $18,860.50. Be it further resolved that funding shall be supported by a transfer from the general unassigned funds in the amount of $18,860.50. That is a motion.
Second.
Have a motion with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carry. Town resolution, Town of Plattekill, resolution number 51 of 2025, general fund budget amendment. I will make a motion, whereas the town supervisor has requested a transfer in the amount of $10,000 from general fund unassigned funds to A 1320.400 auditor. This is whereas this transfer is necessary to cover the cost of the bills for 2025 year. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Plattekill, Ulster County, to amend the 2025 general fund budget with an increase of the A 1320.400 auditor contractual in the amount of $10,000, no cents. Be it further resolved that funding shall be supported by a transfer from the general unassigned funds in the amount of $10,000, no cents. And that is a motion.
I will second that.
We have a motion with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carry. And I will tell you, let me do the vouchers and then we'll go into executive session. So I will make a motion to pay the vouchers. I, Supervisor Dean Pugh, make a motion to pay voucher detail report dated August 6th, 2025, which includes, and I'm going to change that to August 20th, 2025, which includes the A General Fund in the amount of $26,293.64, the DA Highway Fund in the amount of $11,371.36, the H4 miscellaneous supplies and items, $4,862.50. The H1 Bridge Ban, $10,393.43. The SA Clintondale Lighting in the amount of $1,894.60. The SB Modena Lighting in the amount of $3,414.58. This would be for a grand total in the amount of $58,230.13. That is a motion to pay the vouchers.
I will second that.
We have a motion to pay the vouchers with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carry. And I will make a motion at 8:01 to go into executive session for personnel matters. We have a motion on the floor with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carry. And I probably shouldn't be that long. That's gonna come with us. Bring that with you. Okay, gentlemen, I make a motion to come out of executive session at 8:40 PM.
I will second that.
We have a motion on the floor to come out of executive session at 8:40 PM. With a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carry. The last thing we have actually was an addition under the additions, but we had to go through the process before we came to this point. The PBA contract, myself and Councilman Castillo negotiated that contract over the past year and a half or so. Seems like it was forever, and came to a conclusion. So the MOA was signed both by myself and the PBA president, and distributed to the town board where they looked it over, and I will entertain a motion at this time.
So I would like to make a motion to vote and approve the signed MOA and authorize Supervisor Dean Depew to sign the new contract.
Okay, gentlemen, we have a motion on the floor to approve the signed MOA and to give the authorization to the supervisor to sign the contract. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? So carry. Okay, I thank you, gentlemen. At this time, Councilman Fazio, is there any questions, concerns, comments?
Where are we at with the battery storage law? As is everybody, whatever.
Yeah.
BESS.
Yep. So the battery storage law right now has been drafted, and it is going to be taken up for review by the county planning board. County planning board actually meets on the same night that we do, the first Wednesday of the month. The anticipation is that it will be before the planning board on that first Wednesday, September 3rd, as well as the short-term storage law, or I would say storage, short-term rental law, I'm sorry. Both those laws will be up there for review and comments by the planning board, and the anticipation is to set a public hearing for our following meeting, I believe is on the 17th of September.
Great.
Great.
Any other questions?
No.
Councilman Castillo,
No questions.
Councilman O'Flaherty.
No, sir.
At this time, I would like to ask our deputy town clerk if she has any questions, comments, concerns.
Not at this time.
Thank you very much for your input, and thank you very
You're
much
very
for all your work tonight. I appreciate that. At this time, I will make a motion to adjourn at 8:45 PM.
Second.
A motion on the floor to adjourn with a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.